Little John, you ready yet? Little John, we got Broadhead video shoot 2022, baby.
What? Yeah, let's go.
Little John?
That's what he said, Little John.
Oh. All right, welcome to the 2022 Hooked2Hunt Broadhead Test, where we'll be taking our top brands of all types of broadheads and putting them to the test through ballistics gel, cardboard block test, bleed out test, and much more. Fixed blades, mechanicals, hybrids, all coming your way. John, the real John, not the little John, is gonna take us through what we're firing right now.
All right, so this is a brand new Impulse. This is from True Blue Broadheads. They're a company out of Australia. This is their new one just released. So this is QED's Exodus Broadhead. This was recommended to us by our archery guy, Russ, down at Bear Creek Archery. He said these things fly just like field points. Can't go wrong with your muzzies. This is one of their newer fixed blades broadheads. It's their trocar. Then we got our G5 Montec. Joe killed a deer with the G5 M3 from Montec last year. We're just testing the regular Montec, the original, this year. A lot of you guys said Slick Trick. This is our only true 4-blade broadhead, fixed, I believe. And then I don't know what year are those, Joe? From 1970.
Oh,
this is Wikis.
They're old boys.
Some of them are even glue-ins, if you can look at that.
This is from back when my dad used to bear hunt. He had a pack of these left, brand new. So
they don't look very sharp though, man. I bet you'd have to put a...
Oh, they're sharp. I already put one through my finger.
Oh yeah? Okay. And then we got last year's winner of our 2021 broadhead.
The Surprise Arrow Bloodbath.
Our Bloodbath. And then this is the True Blue Broadhead crossbreed. You guys seen our video when we put these head to head versus the Slash Arrow. And I think these actually might have came out a little bit on top. So we're gonna actually put these in our test this year. And then everyone's favorite Rage. You know, it's the new Rage. So this is the Rage Extreme 4-blade. Got our Grim Reaper. You know, you gotta watch them drop, as their commercial says. A lot of people said severs need to be tested, so we got our Ram Cats. These I'm interested in. These are probably my most curious broadhead that I'm interested in. They're the Hydro Shocks.
Right, go ahead.
All right, now we're going to get to the fun stuff, but before we do, I just want to mention that we are going to weigh them all, and you guys don't want to watch that, so we're going to do that right now, and we'll post the results somewhere in this vicinity.
All right, we're gonna kick it off with the cardboard block test. The reason why I like this test a lot is it'll tell us a lot of different things. One, it'll tell us penetration. Two, it'll also show us when your mechanicals and your hybrids deploy and if they deploy correctly. So it should give us a really good idea on all that. So we're gonna fire into this block, tear it apart, and check it out. This is the fun part, starting now. Almost slipped on an apple. All right, 12 arrows in the block, and let's go check it out, see how everything went. All right, already you can tell that we have quite a bit of difference in a penetration. And even though this is only like 4 inches, that's actually quite a bit because this is a solid cardboard block. These arrows would go farther through meat and push farther than a cardboard block. Bone's a different story. Which one do you guys predict won the penetration here? I'm thinking one of the fixed blades is gonna get the most penetration. All right, well, we were about ready to just kick it off and keep going here, but I have Victory armor piercing arrows with me, and I threw on a QAD Exodus field or broadhead, and I just want to see if there's a whole lot of difference with this armor piercing arrow than all those other arrows we fired. If you watched any of our prior videos, like our penetration video, you know we were extremely surprised with this Victory armor piercing arrow. These are custom made from Russ at Bear Creek Archery, who also hooked us up with these QAD Exodus broadheads. So Victory armor piercing arrow, very thin diameter shaft, very little drag, should cut through the wind a lot better. Last time when we tested these, they actually flew a lot faster and penetrated further. There's the Victory armor piercing arrow. Just fired that one. You can already tell that it is gonna take the cake.
Right here is the other.
Right here's the other QAD Exodus. So put my bow down and we'll get this block door open. To save time, we just took this off and we are to our first broadhead poking through here. I'm gonna assume that's that armor piercing arrow with that quad QAD Exodus broadhead on there. Alright, so that's exactly what that is. So, only one shooting the Victory armor piercing arrow. Small, real small diameter arrow with that QAD Exodus broadhead on it. That is the furthest penetrating one, which after watching that last penetration video, I already knew that was going to happen. All right.
Is that what I think it is?
So, first place winner, cardboard block penetration test. All the arrows that are in the block right now are all the same exact arrows, same lengths, and that is your QAD Exodus fixed blade broadhead. And this is the one that Russ gave me. When I asked him, I was like, I want a broadhead, whatever one he thinks is gonna fly as accurate as a field point and consistent. He said these are some of the most accurate ones he's found for fixed blades. So he hooked me up with a pack of those, and look at that. Also won the penetration test.
So that VAP arrow, is that what you'll be hunting with this year?
Yep, Victory armor piercing arrow.
Tipped with an Exodus. Huh?
Tips with an Exodus, I think, is probably, might be what I'm gonna use, but we'll see. We'll see how the rest of this turns out. We got another one poking through right here. I'm curious to see what that guy is.
There's one of our sponsors, Pampers.
All right.
It should be for how much we spend on it.
No shit. Between all the kids that we've had, well, John more than us. So there's about a whole broadhead in front of the rest of them. But now the rest of them are starting to poke through here. We got our 4-blade slick trick. Is that the Muzzy? Yep, that's our Muzzy Trocar, so that's right neck and neck. This is the Ramcat Hydro Shock. And the blades aren't sticking out, but the tip is. And this is a true blue. So these ones are all neck and neck. And then we have our Exodus that's just a little bit farther ahead. And right behind it here, once we pull this out, yeah, that's your Montec's a little bit farther behind. The only one that's a hybrid / expandable is this one. That's your true blue. So right now the true blue has the most penetration if you're going to categorize the hybrids and mechanicals together. That one's at least poking through. Everyone else is a fixed blade. You can tell I've done it before. I had an idea that the fixed blades are probably going to go a little farther. But a lot of times your mechanicals give you more cutting surface, and that's why they're also slowing down sooner. So keep on peeling these layers out, and we'll see what we got here next. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull the tip of the Montec off, but the Montec is fully out. Your Ramcat, fully out as well. And we still aren't to the blades yet on that True Blue. Alright, now we have some of our hybrids and mechanicals poking through. Right here, now we got to the True Blue Broadhead. You can see the cutting diameter on those blades. Pretty good size cutting diameter there. Still looks pristine. This is last year's winner right here overall, and that's that Bloodbath. This is last year's winner for a hybrid. You have that fixed front with the blades that deploy. That one's right in here with that True Blue. That True Blue is surprising.
So if you look at that trocar tip there, so you can actually take that off like what we did in our other video.
Yep, you could put additional broadhead on there.
So with that tip on there, they're 125 grains if you're shooting it the way we just shot it. Otherwise, it's 100 grain broadhead, and then you can tip it with whatever broadhead you wish. So our best fixed two blade is going to be the Impulse.
Yeah, so it looks like our Muzzy, or not our Muzzy, it looks like our Zwicky's coming through right here. We got our two blade Impulse right here, but for fixed blades, they are way, way behind, and the cutting diameter isn't that much more. And then we got our Bloodbath, like I said before, and we got our Grim Reaper right here. Bloodbath, Grim Reaper, basically neck and neck. I think the Bloodbath was poking out a little bit beforehand. And then right here, is this the...
Oh, Sever. That's the Sever.
These are the Severs right here. The Severs are finally coming out. Once we get into this, we'll be able to see the cutting diameter for everything.
How
many arrows do we have left in here? 4?
4. Do we see all 4?
What the f is... Oh, that's a Rage. So, we got 4 arrows left. So we got our Sever. Finally came through. Bloodbath is still, you know what I mean, hanging there. We haven't pulled it all the way out yet. But this is kind of where a lot of the other ones hanging. The Zwicky is right here. And there's a 4th arrow that was all the rage. Everybody always talks about the rages, so we threw it in. But so far, penetration on the block, that is the farthest back. Of course, we got the ballistics gel coming up, but yeah, she's a ways back. All right, so down to the last one. Here's our rage. It was the farthest back. It does have a pretty decent cutting diameter, though. So as far as cutting surface, it's quite a bit, but definitely was the worst in the penetration. But you got other ones. So this one right here is your Bloodbath, which was still performing really well, and you got about the same cutting diameter or cutting surface. So one of these is Bloodbath, one of these is True Blue, but they both have quite a bit of cutting surface.
And they out-penetrated.
Yeah, and they definitely out-penetrated this by a long shot.
Is that name worth it?
What was this one down at the bottom?
Sever.
So the Sever even performed better. That looks like it has about the same amount of cutting surface for the most part. It doesn't have as wide on that front blade, but that penetrated better. Still wasn't great either. But you got to remember the Sever, some of those fully mechanical broadheads, you're going to gain some accuracy. So if you're shooting long distance, you're going to get a little bit more accuracy, more than a fixed blade. So, and some of your hybrids. All right, now it's time for the ballistics gel test. 60-pound block. We're gonna fire all these arrows into it quick. This will be a quick clip, and then we're gonna get to the results. Let's hit it. That one went way in there. Nice and deep like. Yeah! All right, so we have the True Blue crossbreed just way out in front of everything else. I also shot it a little bit higher. I don't know if the less weight but it also did good in our penetration test on the cardboard block. So the next one would be our fixed 2-blade. So completely different results than the cardboard block. That's also True Blue. So on the Ballistics Gel, True Blue has the two farthest penetrating broadheads right now. The QAD Exodus is still one of the top penetrating ones. Ramcat Hydro Shock performed very well as well. For hybrids, mechanicals, well, of course, you got your True Blue. Like I said, this one went way out here. But your Bloodbath is still just, well, no, because you got, what is that? Sever. So your Sever, trying to look at the wound channel and if it deployed correctly. It looks like it did deploy correctly. So the Sever is a little bit farther out than the Bloodbath, but the wound channel is nowhere near yeah, it's nowhere near as wide as the Bloodbath. So here is the wound channel of that Bloodbath, and it's consistent all the way through. It deploys from the front. Here is your Sever, and the wound channel just is not even close to as wide.
One blade did not.
It doesn't look like it opened right.
No, I don't think. I do not think it did.
All right, let's look at this Rage. Let's see what all the Rage is about. So the Rage, just behind the Bloodbath for hybrid.
I'd say they're equal.
But
definitely equal.
The way those blades kick back, if you look at the wound channel on it, it's not bad. It's not bad.
You know what though? It's nowhere near what the Bloodbath is.
But it's still not, yeah, it's still not anywhere near where that Bloodbath is at.
For as big as those blades are, that has a small wound channel.
See, Bloodbath all the way through. You got these huge blades. The wound channel just isn't as big. This is the True Blue right here. Look at that wound channel.
I can literally
big
make
old
my finger disappear.
So pretty impressive. You would think those would fly pretty straight too.
That may be what I'd be shooting this year.
So from Australia. We had multiple people comment, what, no Australian broadheads in your video? The Ramcat looks good.
And I also wanted to see these Exodus.
The Ramcat looks good. The Quad Exodus, the wound channel looks, obviously they're good. They're fixed blades. Montec didn't do great. There's your Grim Reaper. And there's the wound channel there. So it's not a bad wound channel for that Grim Reaper. Kind of got some arrows stacked a little bit here, so makes it a little bit more challenging.
This impulse is just a consistent straight line through. It's not a huge
wound channel.
Not a huge wound channel, but it's cut on contact and that's consistent and it penetrated.
I don't know why I did so bad in the cardboard block test.
I don't either. Yeah, but last year, remember how bad the Toxic did on the cardboard test, and then it kicked everything else's ass?
Yeah, that's true. But the Toxic had a whole lot more cutting surface, way more cutting surface than this does.
Than any of these.
Yeah, so. All right, so we just noticed this as we pulled them out. These Ramcats actually have blades on the back side. You don't usually see that where they sharpen the back side. If a deer goes to pull this out, it will cut them as it's pulling them out as well. So, which should make them bleed out even more.
And that thing's cutting no matter what.
Yeah, it's interesting. But pretty sweet. Just thought I'd point that out.
All right, so now it's my turn finally. Been patient, been a good boy behind the camera, so now it's my turn to fling some sticks. So we're gonna do my bleed out test. So behind me you can see we got some
colorful jugs of water. They're kind of flavorless. I know because I just got smashed in the face with one, so they are flavorless. Got some cameras up. We're gonna see which one bleeds out faster, and maybe sneak in a surprise or two. Let's go.
No, there's a bee flying around.
Someone's vibrating. Did your phone vibrate?
Oh, there's a bee flying around me. That bee. That didn't stay up there very well. You sure that was gonna stay? When the arrow goes through it?
Yep.
Oh man. I wish I was recording.
You are.
Do you have that one on? Oh. Someone just took a shot to the face.
In the face.
Why y'all wet?
That's what she said.
Oh, that's hilarious. We just had a jug fall. John was trying to put pressure on it to take the dent out, and it was a pop top, and it blew right in his face. Oh. No one takes a shot.
This ain't
to the
always
face
easy.
like you.
This ain't always easy, man. Alright, so that concludes the normal for Broadheads. However, we had a viewer comment, hey, I got something for you. So we decided to do what he said. So he took a slash arrow, and then he put a true blue on it, and then we actually put the true blue impulse. So it's a slash, a crossbreed, and an impulse. So you got those blades, and then these blades, and then those blades. And if you could see that, I don't know, what do you think we should call that, Joe? The Terminator or the Devastator?
The Freaky Freddy Freak Nasty.
Shenanigans.
Well, I'm trying to say that's winning the bleed out test.
She's goshing.
Shenanigan. Well, I'm trying to say that's winning the bleed out test.
She's goshing.
All 6 blades. All 6 blades.
That is a lot of cutting surface. All right, now we're gonna give it the angle test. We got ourselves a 3/8 inch board at a 30-degree angle, decently hard angle. And we're gonna see how they pass through it, if they deflect. And I wanna see some arrows getting deflected, not gonna lie. All right, here we go. All right, so just fired all our arrows for the hard angle deflection test. We didn't get one to deflect off the board all the way, unfortunately. So next time I'm gonna put it more at like 15 degrees maybe. I wanna see some arrows bounce. But when you're looking at this, some of them went straighter through the target than others. It looks like the Ramcat kicked farther to the left. The Muzzy kicked a little bit farther to the left. The Zwicky kicked a little farther to the left. And then all the rest of these had pretty good, pretty straight pass-throughs. But you can see down here, this guy made it halfway through. That's the Rage. Made it halfway through, then it snapped off the arrow. So whether or not that was a fluke or arrow fault or whatever, we've been beating these arrows up pretty good. And then we had some that went straight through the target. Ooh, we got a mechanical fail. So that's your Grim Reaper. She's dead.
Watch them drop.
She's dead. So there's a fail. That one passed clean through the board into the block. See if there's any other damage here. Oh, this Bloodbath blade is bent up sideways. All of the fixed blades look pretty solid. The True Blue crossbreed. This one's solid, that one didn't break. I still like that QAD. I think that QAD performed pretty good. But so that basically wraps up the rest of our tests here today. Hopefully you guys have some stuff to take away from this. We're gonna go back, we're gonna crunch some numbers, and we'll have all the data for you guys from this Broadhead test. Found out a lot of things. Some of the big names I didn't think performed the way I thought they were. They are not who they thought they were. But that's all we got for you. Check out one of our other videos.
Hooked2Hunt out, but make sure to like, share, subscribe. You know, you got to become part of that Hooked2Hunt tribe.